Down Texas way, there's a border war known as the Red River Shootout. And for the first time since the '84 tie, this game features two top 5 teams. A year ago, Oklahoma destroyed Texas 63-14. And afterwards, the Sooners preened in front of the scoreboard. Chris Sims and his Texas teammates insist it won't happen again.
I had this day circled on my calendar for a year.
And now the day is here.
They scored 63 points on us last year. Not today. Not today.
With the State Fair of Texas as our backdrop, the SBC Red River Shootout unfolds in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It's Oklahoma and Texas. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger along with Gary Danielson. Well, every year on the journey to the national championship, there are a few games that define the road. Folks, we have reached the first fork in our highway. Win today, and you control your destiny. Lose today, and you need a lot of help. And, Gary, this is a tale of two quarterbacks.
You're right, Brent. And let's start with Texas and Chris Sims. He's got all the measurables, the arm strength, the feet, the size that everybody loves. It's that elusive it that some quarterbacks have. The Elways, the Montanas. His dad, Phil, had it. It's games like this in Oklahoma that Chris can make his mark because that's all he's lacking. The other side, Oklahoma, Nate Hibble, he proved last week against Kansas State that he has it. He's tough. He's courageous. His team loves him. But does he have all the measurables and talent to beat a great Texas team? It's a fascinating matchup.
Let's join our PA announcer, Bob Cole.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Dr. Kevin Sensall, the eyes of the
And here come the Longhorns.
From the UT Navy ROTC. Please stand as University of Texas Director of Bands Jerry Junkin leads us in our national anthem.
Nothing better than Old Glory flapping in the breeze on a Saturday afternoon as the Sooners and the Longhorns are ready to get it on. Our sellout scene here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Jackaroo is up inside that famous tunnel, and Jack, any trash talking up there between the two teams?
No, Brenton, no surprise. Almost workmanlike. Both teams came out of the tunnel and spilled out into what I think may be the most incredible crowd that I've ever witnessed for a college football rivalry. Why? Well, it's a neutral site. They split the field right down the middle. Crimson and cream on one side, the burnt orange on the other side. And as you said, with this Texas State Fair as a backdrop, there's a couple 100,000 people wandering the grounds. Don't even have tickets to this game. I'll tell you what, I've done every major college football rivalry in the country. My first visit here, I'm pumped up and ready to play.
Well, you know this man is pumped up. He's never been beaten by a top 10 team, and here he comes again. Coach of the defending national champion, Oklahoma Sooners, Bob Stoops, who has done a remarkable job in his third year. And across the field, well, a man who needs to win a big game at a big school, Mack Brown, his fourth year. He has recruited some of the best classes in the country over the last few years, and now they must step it up on the field. Mack Brown's Longhorns will get the ball to start the game. Victor Ike at Irvis Hill, with Duncan kicking it off for the Sooners. Underway in Dallas. And Sims will have it on the 20-yard line as he brings it out. We asked Chris Sims about the first series against Oklahoma today.
I hope we can come out and run the ball on them effectively enough, and then you know, do a few things off of that. You know, a few play action passes, and you know, just be patient. Take what they give us. It's a great defense. They're very disciplined, and you know, we can't force much.
So Chris dashes out with the play from the sideline. The one back, Ivan Williams behind him to start the game. Bo Scapes, the tight end, number 80. Chris puts Williams out to the 26-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain, and now it's time for our Burger King lineups. Ivan Williams, now what he must do besides run the ball is also blitz protect. When the Sooners come, that's something the young man had to work on. The offensive line, and they will be concentrating on the freshman phenom, number 97, Tommy Harris. They must stop him. The Horns think Harris is their best defensive lineman. Down now on 2nd and 4. Will they put Williams in play? They do. Slash reaches out for the first down at the 30-yard line, with Lehman making the stop for this OU defense. And here is Tommy Harris, number 97. Only a freshman starts in that defensive line. The linebackers you know about. Rocky Kalmus rocked Sims last year with an interception, which he returned for a TD. But Brandon Everidge can't bite on play action. Chris Sims thinks before the game is over he can get something deep against the safeties. 3rd down and short with Cedric Benson, and it is Sims bucking ahead for the first down.
If you're going to try to win this football game, the start is so important. The Pontiac Game Solutions, the two matchups. One team cannot allow the other team to get a big lead because both teams want to have balance, run and pass, yards after catch, playmakers at wide receiver and running back. And Brent, anytime you have two even teams, we know kicking game usually decides it.
4 wide and Victor Ike into the backfield. The coaches like what they see of the offensive line so far. Short drop. He's now completed 2 in a row, but that one not much of a gain as Roy Williams came up and got all over B.J. Johnson. There is a great safety, number 38 for the Sooners.
Well, I think that's the key to the ball game for Texas. They want to control the two safeties. Everidge and Williams are both big-time tacklers. Kansas State did a great job of that last week with the option play and play-action passes. Texas said they want to do the same. Control those two guys where they line up with formations. It's been 2 tight ends for most of the game for Texas.
Williams back. Sims needs time. They'll run Williams. breaks the first tackle. This will put the Horns in 3rd and long.
Guess who? Tommy Harris beat the block right up the middle, the freshman, number 97. He is such a load. Cuts it. There's cutoff try by the center this time. Matthew Anderson, look at that. Can't get him. And Brent, every high school player that played against that guy last year in high school, I'd go back and watch films of. They might be some good players that didn't get recruited because they couldn't block him.
Isn't that the truth? Here's your 3rd and long now for Sims and the Horns, who stay 4 wide. They need to reach the 41-yard line. Penalty flag is down. There is a penalty flag thrown.
Prior to snap, ball start offense, 5 yards.
Let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John?
Brent, in the Coors Light update, what a finish in the SEC. Tennessee had grabbed the lead late in the last minute. Georgia comes right back. David Green, 6 yards to Veron Haynes. 1980 was the last time Georgia had beaten Tennessee in Knoxville. Brent.
Big win for Mark Richt. John, in his first year between the hedges, after the penalty, it is really 3rd and long. He needs all of 15 here. 15, 16 yards to get his first down. He'll throw it to Williams on the screen. No, they will be forced to punt. Corey Klein making the stop for the Sooners.
Mack Brown and Greg Davis came out conservatively. They do not want an early turnover to destroy their balance in the football game. Not surprised that that was a lot of fluff and a little easy pass to the wide receiver.
Brian Bradford's a young punter. Curtis Fagan is set to return this punt. He's the junior from Houston. Fields it at the 36-yard line. And coming down hard. So the Horns with great punt coverage. Timeout. Time for the defending champions to go on the attack. And here is Nate Hibble. Brings the play out from the sideline. And he completes a high percentage ball, but there's a penalty flag. Hits his running back, Griffin. So we asked Hibble what he wanted to accomplish here in the first series.
If you can make first downs, regardless if you can't punch in the end zone or kick a field goal, then you've won the field position battle. And that's huge in any big game. And, you know, making first downs, we'd love to score. And, you know, you just don't want to make the big mistake.
So Hibble and the Sooners are hurt by that holding penalty here.
So the big mistake. And that's exactly what he didn't want to do on the first drive. Getting that behind the down the distance, 1st and 20 like that.
First down, 20.
Officials are having a meeting to start this game about the clock, I believe.
Four wide for the Sooners. Sideline to sideline. Inside shuttle pass is blown up beautifully by Marcus Tubbs, the sophomore from DeSoto, Texas. And our Burger King lineup for the Sooners. And the only question we have about Antoine Savage, who made those 2 big catches against K-State, is how is the ankle after a week? The offensive line, Frank Romero, the All-American headed for the NFL, he'll have a huge payday starting next year, one of the best in the country. Now 2nd and 25. It's a 3-4 look with a nickel by the Texas defense. And Hibble. It is complete. That's Mark Clayton. Breaks free. Just short of a first down by a couple of yards. Picking up 23 before Derek Johnson, the fabulous freshman linebacker from Waco, Texas, brings him down. But a huge gain for the Sooners.
And what was it? Yards after catch. An easy throw. Zone for Texas right here. Here's Lewis right here bluffing. But watch how he drops out. Just an easy zone. Hibble takes the easy throw, 5 yards. But yards after catch, Texas must tackle. If they don't tackle these athletic receivers, Oklahoma will have a field day.
From the 49-yard line. Hibble for the first down. Oklahoma in Texas territory against this Texas defense. Torrey Reddy can go from side to side. Number 40 came as a linebacker, now a defensive end. And the linebackers, Derek Johnson, they changed their defense just because you got to put me in, coach. The freshman is that good. And over there on the corner, number 6, Quentin Jammer, go ahead. Just throw it at him. Just try me. And Johnson gets ready with a first down for the Sooners. Here's Griffin. Nice tackle by Derek Johnson, number 11.
Oh, boy. Here's a guy, sometimes you have to beg the coach to play with when you talk to him, coach, put me in, as you said. But this time, he's just such a great football player. There's nothing but Carl Reese, defensive coordinator for Texas, could do but find a way to get this guy on the field. By the way, another one of those guys, you better check the film of high school to see who couldn't block this guy. Can you imagine those two players playing high school ball just a year ago? He and Harris.
Second down and 8. Hibble in trouble. Drops it off without anybody there. Texas wants grounding. They wave it off and call it incomplete because of the Thornton pressure. The play was immediately disrupted, and it is 3rd down and 8.
Head referee this time, which is right behind Nate Hibble in this picture. See if you see him here. Yes, there he is. Said he was out of the pocket as he threw it, out of the tackle box area, which prevents an intentional grounding play. I saw him point to the ground. He made the play, made the indication that he was outside the pocket. That was here, right there.
Another big play by 11. Johnson ran him back toward Thornton. 3rd down. Hibble. Flush to the right. Throws long and incomplete. Had Griffin working the sideline that time, but also Dakari Pearson, the free safety from Dayton, Texas, who plays in the nickel, was there defensively.
You'll see Texas in this look right here, the defensive secondary. There's about 8 of them, counting linebackers who once were safeties in high school. And look at the zone. They all have their eyes on Nate Hibble, the quarterback. There's really no one open. Hibble has to break to his right and try to find someone on the run. Both defenses controlling the game so far.
Jeff Ferguson is looking for his 10th punt down inside the 20-yard line if he can nail it here. But into the end zone. It'll come out on the 20. A break for the Longhorns. Chris Sims and the Horns will have the ball for the 2nd time. Timeout. Chris Sims completed his first 3 passes, but for only 10 yards as he settles in here. 1st and 10. Now trying to get the running game going, and they do with Williams, and he's cut down after about 3 yards by Teddy Lehman.
Let's take a look at what both of these teams are trying to do in their offensive systems. Texas wants to run the ball with power. The next phase of their offense is pocket passes with Chris Sims. Their finesse plays with draws and quick screens and very little play action passes. Oklahoma does not even have a power running game. Finesse is what they like to do with those quick screens, pocket passes, and very little play action.
takes him down at the 10-yard line as Lehman jumped in and Kalmus had a free alley.
Brent, when we walked into the Texas offensive meeting room, we saw every blitz that Oklahoma had run, and about 10 of them was this cross action between the two linebackers. Teddy Lehman, number 11, will come in and draw the blocker, and then Kalmus gets freed up for the quarterback. That should be picked up. That was accounted for by either a back or the offensive lineman. That's not an extra man. That is a bust on the offensive line.
That's an 8-yard loss. And remember we said Williams must account for the blitz. This is 3rd down and 18. Line of scrimmage is clean. Williams, 1st down, Longhorns. Lehman had to come back and help out against Roy Williams, the sophomore from Odessa, and what a dandy prospect he is.
3rd and long, you run the deep comeback. This ball was thrown like a laser by Chris Sims. And Williams, he looks like a linebacker. He runs like a sprinter. He's got the size of a basketball player and the heart of a football player. He's got the whole package. But the ball was perfectly thrown.
On 3rd and 16, that is 23 yards for the Horns. Drop-off incomplete. That's the first incompletion of the game, and it was Teddy Lehman rocking the wideout that time. 1st and 10 is brought to you this quarter by Pontiac.
The offensive line for Texas, they busted that one stunt by the linebackers. You mentioned all the running backs involved in that, but so far the protection for Chris Sims has been much better than I remember last year when I watched Chris Sims in these football games.
Well, Mike Williams, the right tackle, the coaches told us, is having a terrific year, All-American type on that right side. And again, the line of scrimmage clean. There's Williams, got it again for a 1st down. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. They've been raving about number 4 for 2 years, and that's 18 more yards for him.
Oklahoma stunted from this side of the team with their linebackers. There's no linebackers in the picture. There's the throw high into the face mask, exactly how you teach it for the crossing route. And if you've got guys coming, look, Kalmus is coming, Everidge number 7 is coming. There should be holes. The zone blitz has holes in it. Texas offensive line did a great job of picking that up.
Sloan Thomas is off to the left. Williams, penalty flag.
And we're going to get a holding up front.
How about a 3-yard gain? Holliman, the defender there, but Jerry says this one is coming back. Well, here's our Monday night game, and folks, Gary Danielson is going to be there in his own. Why, I ask you, why would you go watch that route?
The last time the Rams played in the Silverdome, their Super Bowl year, the Lions beat them.
That was the preseason.
Well, they didn't have much of a coach. Oh, that's right. I was thinking for a real team. I forgot. I thought about that.
The Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Jack down on the field. Pleasure to be here with Gary. The State Fair of Texas, some 500,000 folks coming in and around and through and back out. We are told here in the next 24 hours or so. 1st down and long for Sims against the Sooners now. There's a penalty flag before the snap. So the Longhorns are backing up all of a sudden. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Pontiac, what would you do with some Pontiac excitement? Discover Card for the slightly smarter consumer, and SBC, we are on it. Well, that time they caught the Sooners jumping into the neutral zone. So the Horns get 5 back, and now it's only 15 for the 1st down, and you better believe they'll try to account for these wide receivers after they've had a Sims arm here in the early going. Going to bring it again. No, a great sack that time by the Sooner defense at the 45. The speed man, Jimmy Wilkerson. Well, John Saunders, what about Colorado and Kansas State? Did the Buffaloes hold on?
Jimmy Wilkerson, number 45, he had all the tackles.
Well, Brent, as you know, Kansas State scored 37 points last week in a loss to Oklahoma, but against Colorado, nothing. That's Craig Oaks' 23 yards to Daniel Graham, and Kansas State loses for the second straight week, 16-6. Brent.
And John, in 2 weeks, Colorado heads down to Austin for what could be a huge game in the Big 12. Draw play Williams, and again, that Sooner defense, led by Dvoracek that time, another freshman, number 94, ready for the task. And remember this defense, folks. Last year, how about the month of October that the Sooners enjoyed? Scoring 63 on Texas here in Dallas. Then going up to Kansas State, Manhattan, and winning that. Then going back to Norman and beating Nebraska. No team in history ever had a better October than the Sooners did a year ago. Maybe some teams with one as good, but none better than that. And then they kept the Seminoles of Florida State out of the end zone in the national title game. That's how good this defense is. The pocket, open, intercepted. Picked off by Woolfolk. So the coaches move number 17 just to defense this week. They didn't want him playing both ways. He picks the Sims pass, and now the Sooners with a golden opportunity.
This was zone coverage. Watch the linebackers drop out. Read Chris Sims' eyes. Woolfolk that time backs up. There was no one in the flat. He has the short flat. Chris tried to stuff it in there, threw it slightly behind that time. Really a poor throw that time for Chris Sims. Should have led the receiver downfield much further. Didn't feel that that corner would drop into that coverage and threw one that Oklahoma defense gobbled up in zone coverage.
Now the Sooners with a golden opportunity inside the 25. Kibbles incomplete. Griffin was covered by Redding coming out of the backfield.
Yeah,
and you could see Redding's speed that time dropping off the defensive line.
That's a nice changeup they're doing. Now remember, Texas has moved a lot of people around in this defense to give them speed. The two defensive ends, Thornton and Redding, are really grown-up linebackers who are putting their hand out. They are peeling. When Jammer comes out of the backfield, the defensive ends are peeling with him and covering him on those wide streaks.
Griffin on that delayed handoff, and Texas jumps the play, and again number 40, Redding, right there. So next Saturday, college football, we get a doubleheader at noon Eastern, and you'll see top-ranked Miami take on those Seminoles of Florida State from Tallahassee. Then at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, Washington against UCLA, or Wisconsin, Ohio State, and then on the West Coast, you've got the San Diego UNLV game.
You think Oklahoma has to get it to Trent Smith, number 88, that big tight end. He's got a good matchup over there. He's to the right side of the formation every time.
They need 12 for the first down. Hibble throws high and incomplete into the end zone. And there was no daylight as Damian Mackey was the intended receiver, but Nathan Basher, a corner who's been switched to safety, as Texas went to more speed, the defensive backfield in on him.
Here's the big tight end, Trent Smith. Oklahoma found Trent Smith late in the game against Kansas State. Here he is again, wide open. I think that matchup is a matchup that will work for them. At Pearson, number 9, the backup corner that had Smith on that play.
Now Duncan, he will attempt a 42-yarder with White holding. And he's still in a rut. So Duncan's kicking slump continues. Timeout. Alone with his thoughts, having missed 5 of 6, including that one a short time ago. The one he did make was a big one. It wound up being the difference against Kansas State last week when we were up at Norman. And he'll get another chance before this one's over. Now, neither team has been able to generate any running game. You can see why. The defenses are so tough. Texas had a -4. Now make it -3 after that 1-yard gain. Oklahoma hasn't rushed for a yard yet.
Brent, neither team is very committed to running the ball either. Yes, you're right. The defenses are tough, but if you don't have a strong commitment, you're using 3, 4, 5 wide receivers almost every down. It's going to be tough to run it against these guys. Look at that. 1 back, 3 wide receivers again for Texas. Of course, Oklahoma doesn't even try it.
Second down for Sims and the Horns. Before the snap. So the play is stopped here, and we've got our 5th penalty of the afternoon. Scoreless in Dallas.
Right of snap. Ball start. Offense.
Let's check in with Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, there's been a lot of rivalries in this Red River shootout. Let's take you back to 1963. Number 1 ranked Oklahoma against number 2 ranked Texas. They dubbed it the game of the century, but it was Texas tailback Tommy Ford behind Tommy Novus that gave the Longhorns a 28-7 upset. And then number 1 Oklahoma, and Texas went on to win the national championship that year.
Yeah, there were a lot of teams came in here committed to the run. These two have not been able to. That team certainly was. Texas going to stick with it. Williams breaks it free. There is the best run from scrimmage in the game, and that can change things if they can get Ivan rolling. Wilkerson forced to back up from his defensive end spot to make the stop.
Talking to everyone for Texas. Mack Brown, Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, Chris Sims, the offensive lineman, even the people that listen to talk radio in Texas around here, which are the rest of the experts, they all say Texas has to run the ball. That gets them into their play-action game. I agree. Couldn't agree more. Texas cannot give up on running the ball.
Now a split back look on 3rd and 3. Williams came in from the sideline. Number 4 is there with Johnson, and Sims is going to throw it. He's going to throw to the short man for the first down. Brett Robin out of the backfield from that left halfback spot, and a first down and a very well-designed play by Greg Davis for 11 yards.
And a good job that time on the offensive line. I think Oklahoma was really playing the run that time. Kind of did a rub off the back end of the flat. The wide receiver was kind of hooking up. Chris Sims took his time, made sure that there wasn't a corner out in the flat, and then took the easy throw for the first down.
Woolfolk is going man-to-man with Roy Williams. Williams is out far to the left, and Woolfolk is taking it. Sims is looking out there. He's rolling. Pump fake underneath man. Got him close to midfield, and well defended by Roy Williams on B.J. Johnson, who made the catch. So the final seconds tick away on our first quarter. A little bit different than a year ago. Texas and Oklahoma are scoreless, and we'll be back with the second quarter of the SBC Red River Shootout after this. The coaches, Bob Stoops and his brother Mike, very upset with Derek Strait that time. Gary Danielson speculating that he was supposed to blitz that time. He did not have responsibility on Williams, but they were able to hit the slot receiver for a few yards, Gary.
Yeah, I think it was another one of those zone blitzes, and if you don't blitz, not much of a zone.
Well, they're scoreless at the end of one, and a year ago, the Sooners had already scored twice in that rout.
Texas,
here now,
very happy. They survived the start. Now they can just play football.
They turned it over once, and the Sooners could not capitalize as Williams switches to the left side of the field, and Williams is hit. Nothing much doing as Dusty Dvoracek, number 94, is playing a big-time game defensively.
He really is. Remember, he's another freshman, 94, right on the nose, right there. He's beating the center right across his face right there. The back, this time it's the backside guard. Great feet. You see that? They go for his feet. He jumps right over him. That's why they do those bag drills. Throw him at him, jump up, be active. Athletic defensive line.
If you take away the sacks, Texas has rushed for about 20 yards, but sacks count, so it's only 8. Here is third down. Texas empties the backfield in the face of the blitz, incomplete. Johnson, there was no time as Rocky Kalmus had just shortened the time frame for Chris Sims.
Oklahoma is so messed up in their lineups this time. Oklahoma puts 4 people to the short side of the field. No one even covers B.J. Johnson that time. Chris Sims kind of throws it where he thinks B.J. is going to go. One guy stops, one guy goes, but Mike Stoops and Ben Venables have to be totally upset with the alignment of their defense. They've lined up wrong 5 times in this game so far.
Bradford gets it off. Fagan, fair catch at the 20-yard line. He had to run up on it at the end. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan. Nissan introduces the totally new V6 Ultima, the cure for the common carb. Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. And Pacific Life, annuities, insurance, investments. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
Brent, when I watch Oklahoma play offense, I begin to realize more and more just how valuable Josh Heupel was to this football team a year ago. When Quentin Griffin can't get the football, Oklahoma seems lost. Josh Heupel got big plays for him. Right now, where are their big plays?
They're running a wide receiver wide and nothing doing. And you mentioned Quentin Griffin, and here's Mack Brown on number 22's importance to OU.
If you let him have his yards, and he's going to get some, but if you let him have his yards, you lose the game. You've got to try to control their running game because they can throw the ball well.
Indeed they can, but they have controlled Griffin here so far. He has carried the ball 2 times for no net yards, and a new quarterback comes in. Jason White has checked into the game for OU. On second down, they blitz him, and they sack him at the 10-yard line. Jermaine Anderson, the senior from Texas City.
Anderson just comes from the left side here, just off the corner. I don't know if it's a busted assignment. That's their best offensive lineman. Yes, a busted assignment up front. Frank Romero should have turned out on him. He went inside. He had help inside from Wes Sims and just turned the defensive end loose. You got to wonder if Nate Hibble is still dinged from a week ago.
3rd down and 18. And here's Jason White, the sophomore from Tuttle, Oklahoma. A high percentage pass to Norman underneath. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, and Quentin Jammer makes the stop.
Very surprising Nate Hibble comes out of the game so quickly. And Brent, you and I talked about him in warm-ups a little bit. He seemed to be struggling throwing the ball in warm-ups. That beating he took a week ago, maybe something we didn't know, is the reason that Jason White is in this football game so quickly.
Now the Horns should get good field position. Nathan Vasher is an outstanding return man. He'll face Ferguson. They did not have the punt block on that time. They wanted a return for field position, but folks, I'm going to tell you right now, the Horns are going to try to block a punt before this game is over. So 12 minutes to go, and the Texas defense has knocked one quarterback out of the game, and they've dominated Quentin Griffin. But the OU defense has been stout also, and we are scoreless. Timeout. Well, Gary, our tape truck was able to find this replay, and I think this is when Hibble was injured.
Yes, it was the long pass, just his last series. He was taken down, thrown to the ground. Now watch him kind of favor his left arm, shoulder as he gets up. Yep, right there. Gets picked up by one hand. He's back out on the field, but obviously not 100%.
Now Sims and the Longhorn offense go back to work. Plenty of time. Home run ball. Johnson incomplete, and a penalty is called. A penalty against Andre Woolfolk.
Andre Woolfolk, man-to-man this time. Cuts off Johnson one way, turns and run with him. He's in front of him. Turns around for the ball, has his left arm on him, and the ball is thrown short.
And let's quickly get an update from Jack on Hibble's
Well,
condition.
Brent, Nate Hibble continues to warm up over my shoulder, but he is showing a little bit of pain when he goes through the throwing motion. Granted, it was his left shoulder, but Mark Mangino walked up to him and just shouted to him, "Can you go?" And all Nate Hibble did was shake his head up and down, yes.
He's a tough hombre. He proved that to us last week. He took a savage pounding at the hands of Kansas State. The Wildcats really beat on him last week, and he hung in and stayed in the game. But here today, the Horns have knocked him out early, and now Ivan Williams, the running back. First down for Texas inside the 35-yard line. Complete. Puts it in the hands of Tony Jeffrey. First down, Texas.
I think it's going to be very difficult to play zone defense against Chris Sims. His ball velocity is so strong right now that you just don't have time to move as linebackers. You play off of him like this, boy, zip, that ball is in there. Those linebackers aren't moving 2 steps trying to cover it. Sims has pressure, but look at him step up and throw the ball this year compared to last season.
Let's see if Texas can do what Florida State could not do. A touchdown in the red zone against the OUD. Jeffrey on the end around gets nowhere off that first down, and that puts you in second and long off of that play. Well, speaking of quarterbacks, it's time for our Aflac trivia question. Who was the only Texas quarterback ever picked in the first round of an NFL draft? We'll give you one hint. He threw 2 no-hitters for the Longhorns baseball team. In fact, folks, he went to Austin on a baseball scholarship. Only Texas quarterback drafted in the first round. Second down and 11 now after the loss. Play fake, sprint left, throw underneath, incomplete for the fullback that time, Matt Trissel, and he was in effect a safety valve as Sims was sprinting hard to the left. That brings up 3rd and 11 here, Gary.
But Sims has been good in the pocket with protection, playing zone against this Texas fine receivers and that quarterback. I think you're in trouble. I think you'll see Mike Stoops, Brent Venables, the 2 coordinators for Oklahoma, start to come after Sims. They can't handle him when he's throwing the ball.
I think Venables is saying, go get him. 3rd down, 11. Texas empties the backfield. Not much protection if OU can get there. Here they come. Hit on the release. Incomplete.
That's your only chance. That's your only chance against this guy.
So it's a field goal time for the young kicker for the Longhorns. Number 7, Dusty Mangum on the field, the freshman from Mesquite, Texas. Duncan has missed one already for OU, and now Mangum will attempt to put him ahead. Trahan is the holder. Here's your 35-yard attempt. This for the lead. Blocked. Off to the side. Scooped up by Oklahoma. Out to the 39-yard line. The block punt by Andre Woolfolk, who has an interception and a blocked field goal. What a start for number 17.
That kick was very low, though. That kick was no more than 8 feet off the ground. Watch Woolfolk coming inside. The kick, whoa, he's got some nice elevation there, doesn't he? I think it was going to go left anyway as he hooked it low. But that penetration in Woolfolk, who's starting out with a brilliant football game, I think Brent moving him to defense full-time has really freed him up to be the athlete that everyone in Oklahoma knows he is.
The next personnel mistake that Stoops and his staff makes will be their first personnel mistake.
And Hibble's in the game.
Man, do they understand talent. First down with Hibble back in the gun. Johnson was almost there, and it is dropped at the 45. That ball was dropped by Antoine Savage, the big playmaker of a week ago against Kansas State. But, folks, number 11, he was bearing down on the quarterback.
He was, Nate Hibble. And you saw him trying to throw on the sideline. Could barely lift his left arm. Now, don't underestimate how important that is to get your strength in the throw. That left side pulls that right arm through. We'll see. Texas doesn't try to come after him and get him more punishment.
Second down and 10.
Here they come.
Got him on the release, and he had to bounce it, and the Horns are bringing heat.
See, when he tries to throw backing up now, he just does not have the arm strength. He's going to have to step into every throw and use his legs to give him strength, and that's why I think Carl Reese will say, I'm coming at you. It's like having a boxer woozy. You got to keep going after him and not let him get off the mat.
There's no question he is hurt. Only three
and
of
now
9.
Oklahoma and Gino and Chuck Long, a former quarterback, have to make an important decision as to whether this guy's just being too courageous and they need to get another quarterback in the game.
Trips to the left, but a timeout.
I don't think he can do it.
Hibble.
I don't think he can do it.
There's some pain out there on the field, and Hibble calls a timeout.
Timeout on the field.
We'll take a break. Now it's time for the Nissan Drive summary. OU behind their backup quarterback, Jason White. 31 yards in 8 plays in almost 4 minutes. Here's your 4th and 2.
Brent, also, Hibble was in part of this drive, but Oklahoma likes to run the option in this situation. At least they did it with Josh Heupel. Let's see if they do it.
There's the look and the pitch, and Griffin goes for it. Inside the 15. And Brooks there to get him out of bounds, and there is that same look that Stoops used with Heupel, and it's good for 17 yards.
Nice little changeup. You're getting the guy in motion, someone chases him, and then come down outnumbered right here and run an easy option. A 5-flat quarterback could run this one, pitch it out, and that's the first time Quentin Griffin has gotten any space in the last 2 games I've watched.
Now White lines up back in the shotgun on a 1st down from the 13. Takes the inside handoff, White for the end zone, just short of it.
Well, there's the added dimension that a running quarterback can bring to this offense. At least I thought all week, Brent, that Oklahoma would have a wrinkle for this game. Here is the wrinkle for this game. Much like Clemson does with Woody Dantzler, Northwestern does with Zach Kustok, Oklahoma now has added this quarterback keeper in their offense. That'll get some type of a running game in this set.
Here's 1st and goal. Option look again to Griffin. Touchdown, Oklahoma. The story of a backup quarterback, Jason White, off the Sooner bench. 3 option looks, twice the number 22. This one for the touchdown as the injured Nate Hibble watches from the sideline as his Sooners strike first. Makes it a 7-0 Oklahoma lead.
The changeup has been that Oklahoma has found another weapon. Nate Hibble made a courageous throw to get the 1st down, but he got hurt again. Now, and you have to admire, Brent, a guy who stays ready. That's the sign of great coaching. When a backup player comes in, no drop-off in talent, and they keep moving.
OU leads it. Timeout.
There is a start. There is a finish. And in the journey between, there are dreams. The NCAA Hall of Champions keeps these dreams alive for you. More than a museum, the NCAA Hall of Champions takes you on an interactive journey. Relive some of the most inspirational moments in collegiate sports history and walk in the steps of a student athlete. At the NCAA Hall of Champions, you'll find something for every fan. Discover what it means to be a champion. The journey begins inside.
It'll be Chris Sims' turn. Mahomes, it's Hill, short of the 20-yard line, and OU rocking right now. So Chris Sims, 8 of 13 for 83 yards with 1 interception comes out. Williams, his big running back, has been held to 19 yards on 7 carries. Williams, his big receiver, has caught 4 passes for 54 yards, and they will sprint out trailing by 7 points in the first half.
Yes, but no running game for Texas. Ivan Williams, 7 carries for 19 yards.
Sims a short drop. He'll throw underneath, working the tight end Brock Edwards, the sophomore from Fort Worth. And coming up on the Valvoline Halftime Show, John Saunders and Terry Bowden will bring you all the scores and highlights from around the country. Johnson's off to his right. And Roy Williams is off to Sims' left. Time. Bo Skate, the tight end, for a first down to the 34-yard line.
You said it first, time. Sims had time to throw. When he has time to throw, you can see the improvement in his game. He's able to scan the field. He just doesn't zero in on one wide receiver anymore. He looks down, look, he looked a little right, came back left, tried to go deep, stayed with his feet right under him, a little bounce, and dumped it off to the tight end.
Now they walk the strong safety out to the slot. 1st and 10, and they blitz on a cross. Sims is sacked. Confusion on the blocking, and Jimmy Wilkerson gets there.
Jimmy Wilkerson's basically been unblockable coming off the edge in this game. His average right there is what caused a few problems, at least for Sims. Strong safety's way out outside of your screen right there, and then that little stunt upside. Lehman comes. Here comes Kelmus around number 20. That forces Chris Sims into the pocket for an easy sack.
That's the 3rd sack of the game against Texas, and OU's thrown him for 18 yards and losses.
It's been with the blitz that's really kept the Texas offense backed up in these long yardage situations.
Now they show a late blitz, but Sims has time, and he throws it to Jeffrey, short of the first down.
This is complete to Tony Jeffrey.
Number 12, Tony Jeffrey, once a high school quarterback, redshirt freshman out of the Houston area.
That seems to be a pretty good formula for finding playmakers nowadays. Oklahoma has a bunch of them on their team, both in the secondary and at wide receiver. And it seems like more and more schools are finding those guys that can do a lot of multi-talented things.
Big 3rd down for Sims and Texas. They're 3 of 7 on 3rd down. Need 5. Time. First down in the middle. Scaife puts it down. OU jumps on it. He's down. They're going to rule he's down. No fumble. No fumble. First down, Texas. Bo Scaife.
What a route by Bo Scaife, the tight end. Little shake route, was going to fake an out route, got into the middle of that zone, and I'm telling you, Oklahoma, you can't stop this guy. Watch the tight end right there. Shakes out and then comes right to the middle. Number 80. Chris Sims sees it, reads it. There's the opening right there. Throw it to the opening. Bang! There it is. Look at that. You can't have anything better than that. Throw the ball to the middle of the field, the tight end again. And the ground caused the fumble.
First down and 10. Now they come back with the running game, and it is Victor Ike trying to squeeze what he can out of it. A closer look now at that fumble as Scaife went down.
Hit and ball and ground come at approximately the same time. I think that's a good call.
2nd down and 4 coming up here. So they go to the more experienced Victor Ike rather than the sensational all-everything freshman Cedric Benson. This is not a game for inexperienced players. Experience matters in the way they're hitting. 2nd down and 3. short of the 20-yard line.
That play was designed to go right, but Roy Williams, number 38, just blew up the play, and then the backside of the Oklahoma defense got folded down that time, and that was a real nice read by Victor Ike.
So Victor Ike giving the running game a little bit of a lift. He's the junior from Austin. Sims comes up under center on a first down, just shy of the red zone by a yard. Movement in the middle of the defensive front. No flag as he throws it outside, completes.
Mike Jones got that one.
Yeah, all over Mike Jones.
Back up tight end. I wonder if both Scaife got rocked a little bit because they got two tight ends in the game, Edwards and Jones, and Scaife is not in the game. It's playing about 75% to 80% zone in this game.
Williams has caught 4 balls. He'd be the big go-to guy.
Not this time. Here they come.
A little too fast in the middle. You can see that defensive tackle a little bit eager down in there as he jumped across.
Head ball. Contact by defense.
Well, this is a must win. Surely the United States can beat Jamaica. Surely. Wow.
Is that a blowout? Is a blowout in soccer like 2-0?
Yeah,
2-0.
That's it.
That's a
2-0.
blowout.
That's a blowout. You might want to tune in and see if he gets some field goal kickers up there.
Okay.
Second down and 4.
Now it's run pass. Texas can do anything at 2nd and 4.
They're going to throw it. Williams can't get the handle. Dropped it at the 19-yard line. Was trying to turn down and run before he grabbed the football that time. And it'll be 3rd down, and nobody knows it better than Roy.
You know, that's a little bit of a tough catch. It should be made, obviously. But when that defensive lineman gets his hands up, it's almost like a batter swinging at the ball. You lose it for just a second. You really have to concentrate it right in your hands. And the way Sims controlled the ball, you can't take your eye off it and get ready to run.
Matt McCoy checks in as the nickelback for OU. 3rd down. Time. This one's complete to Ike. Teddy Lehman on him at the 12-yard line, and it is short of a first down, and this is a decision for Mack Brown. Does he put Texas on the board here with a field goal attempt with time running down, or does he gamble that he can pick up the first down?
Well, it's real close, isn't it? I thought he was right at the line. Are they going to measure? Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's why he called the officials timeout.
Ike fell forward right at the end of that. I thought he was stopped short, at least a yard short also.
He got it as he reached forward. So there again, the experience of Victor Ike. No decision for Mack.
The next play is the decision play right here. 56 seconds to go, 55 seconds to go here in the half. But Texas, doing a good job, still has their timeout.
They've got all their timeouts left.
That's an eternity. 3 timeouts and 40 seconds to go.
Here's the draw play. And Ike was tripped up by Rocky Kalmus at the 14-yard line, and he stumbled into the hole. And there's the first timeout used this half by the Longhorns.
Rocky Kalmus playing a lot of zone drops or blitzing. Really nothing in between.
Well, Jack, we've had a lot of great games in this series, haven't we?
Well, Brent, let's take you back to 1976, a couple of days before that game. Darrell Royal accused the Oklahoma coaching staff of spying on the Texas workouts. But when it was all said and done, the Red River Shootout ended up in a 6-6 tie. But evermore, they called it the Spy Bowl.
Now
Barry and the crew, they wouldn't spy on anybody.
Was he spying on the offense or the defense?
How can anybody accuse that group of spying? Well, OU leading 7-0 behind their backup quarterback, Jason White. That's the headline of this game. He gave him that option look, and Quentin Griffin scored this shootout's only touchdown so far.
I'd look for Bo Scaife right now, the tight end in this situation. Sims likes to go to his tight end. This is a perfect time down in the middle of it, down in the scoring zone where Texas is so good.
So Mike Stoops slots back off the field. Done a fabulous job. I'm sure he reminded them that number 80, Scaife, is a huge target for Sims. 29 seconds remaining. Running back is out into the pattern. Sims has to throw it away. Lehman doing a great job on the fullback that time. Trissel was the safety valve, and Lehman would not frame.
Well, Teddy Lehman, one of the fastest players on the football field, matched up with Kalmus at linebacker. They don't even ever have to substitute for those two guys. Scaife went down in the end zone, but Oklahoma was ready for him that time.
Now the nickel. McCoy back in the game. Sloan Thomas out far to the right. Roy Williams matched against Strait. Size advantage Williams. Here's your third down play for the Horns. He's looking Williams. Tries it. Incomplete. Fourth down with Derek Strait in that matchup.
Strait did a nice job that time reading Chris Sims' eyes because there was a blitz to the opposite side of the field. Chris had nothing to do but go to Roy Williams on this. Couldn't get the fade. You see Strait looking at the quarterback, reads the throw and cuts across, and actually the ball was thrown the only place it could have been thrown. Good defensive call that time from Oklahoma and Stoops.
Mangum had one field goal already blocked today. This one from 27 to put the Horns on the board at the end of the half. And he does. Mangum hits the field goal, and the Horns hit the scoreboard with 14 seconds left. And OU will be looking for a big-time return if they can get it. Well, let's go down to our buddy Jack Arute. You don't know Jack.
Well, Brent, you know, part of ABCSports.com. You can log in as a fan and ask me a question. I'll try to get the answer. That's what happened with Shannon from Austin, Texas. He wanted to know, can you tell me a little bit about the history of the corny dogs at the Texas State Fair? Well, I can tell you, Neil Fletcher invented the corny dogs almost 53 years ago. They've been a staple here at the Texas State Fair ever since then. They're hot dogs dipped in cornbread batter. And I'll tell you what, over 750,000 of them are produced and consumed at every Texas State Fair. Oh, baby.
Send us up about a half dozen, but include the mustard. You can't have a corny dog without the mustard.
I didn't want to get it on my plate.
Yeah, that's right. All right, my friend.
Jack was happy to do that one. He didn't have to eat a bug this week.
Bevo says, I'd rather see him eat them corny dogs than those hamburgers, huh? That's what I want. I want you. That's good. Feast on them corny dogs. On the ground. And this is Savage looking for the big home run. Slips free. 30-yard line. Cuts back, and Savage outside the 35-yard line that time, and 4 ticks of the clock left here for Jason White, the backup quarterback. In case you just joined us, Nate Hibble, number 8, injured shoulder, tried to come back and play, started their touchdown drive, then had to give way because of pain. And his backup, the sophomore from Tuttle, Oklahoma. Now remember, these two fellas, race was a little bit wide open in the spring, we were told. And then Hibble, the transfer from Georgia, took it over. And now today you can see that Jason, he's been real good, folks, real good. Perfect in his passing. They're going to take that lead on into the locker room. Well, it was a first half worthy of this rivalry as Stoops and OU on a 17-game winning streak. Lead it at the half. This is the SBC Red River Shootout, where our score is OU 7, Texas 3. Timeout.
Welcome back. John Saunders alongside Terry Bowden. A lot of emotion in that game, and last year it was a blowout, 47-0 at one point in the game before the final 63-14. This year things a little bit different. Texas had revamped their defense and had it going early. This is this is Sims tossing out of pocket. It is picked off, and Oklahoma returns the ball deep into Texas territory. From there, Hibble getting hit. Remember last week against Kansas State, he got knocked around again and reaching for the shoulder.
Well, both teams played real conservatively on offense, John. Defenses have been the show the first half.
All right, you can see Quentin Griffin, 6 touchdowns against them last year. He'll have to settle for 1 in the first half right now, though. Oklahoma with a 7-3 lead. Texas, their offense really, I mean, they got it deep late in the game and got the field goal, but their offense hasn't showed a lot. Chris Sims has been throwing a lot to the flats, not a lot deep.
You know, he's got a big play. He's got a big plays out of big Chris Sims. He's the key to this game, making a deep throw, hitting it, showing big in this game.
All right.
Well, the Red River Shootout in Dallas is a dandy. And, Gary, you know, we break the game down. The one edge we did give Texas was backup quarterback. I take it all back. It's the backup quarterback on the other side.
You know, there was a great battle for this job. Nate Hibble won it, but Jason White stayed ready. And that's what you have to do. And you know, the way both quarterbacks have been getting hit with the blitzes, you know, and in the Big 12 this year, you got to have 2.
This is a tough football game. And, of course, Colorado. They moved into contention in the Big 12 with that big win against Kansas State today.
Well, I think that's why these two teams know they have to play great football week in and week out. You know, Oklahoma just played Kansas State last week. Texas has a big game. They blew away Texas Tech. So they come into this game, and you can see these two defenses are dominating the football game. They're just great players on defense.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half of this football game. You can see virtually no running game, but the Sooners ran well enough, and look at the first down situation.
Yeah, 10-5, and that's what allowed that time of possession to go in Texas's favor. But it's been the blitz package. If you give Chris Sims time to throw the ball, he's going to throw it. He's going to throw it accurately, and he's going to burn you. Oklahoma's given him a nice balance. A little zone, a little blitz, a little zone blitz, and it's kept him just enough off balance, so they've only given up a field goal in this game.
There is number 18, Jason White. He's a sophomore from Tuttle, Oklahoma, and he'll be coming out here with the first series of the second half, and we'll see what adjustments the Texas defense made with the option now a possibility. They've got to be very mindful on the outside. It is a short kickoff. Bounces and down at the 20 as it was not seen there. Up in the air, and David Pino was the kickoff man. And let's check in with Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, as you suspected, the hot-handed Jason White has led Mark Mangino, the offensive coordinator for the Sooners, to stay with him. Mangino talked to me a little bit about the inexperience of their freshman center, though. Said, I made some mistakes with Vince Foster. I'm going to change it this time out. When we come back after this play, I'll tell you what Mack Brown told his Texas Longhorn team.
Well, now safeties in the corners have got to be mindful of that inside handoff and sprint to the outside here. Jays are going to put it up on first down. Moving to the right outside the hash on the run. High. Well defended and complete for a first down. And he put it in Curtis Fagan's hands.
Jason White's throwing off the run so well in this game.
All right, Jack, what'd Mack say?
Mack Brown was very, very happy in the locker room. He pointed to 2 years ago when they were down by a couple of touchdowns at the half. He pointed to last year when they were almost out of it at halftime. And he told his team, fellas, we are a second half team. We're right where we want to be. Now, go get them.
Yeah, well, they got to stop White. He's throwing for 42 yards. He's perfect. He's 5 of 5 and throwing on the run. And a busted play coming from behind. Johnson wrapped it up, but Corey Redding was also there. And when Redding and Johnson close in, it's adios if you got no protection.
Jason White turned the wrong way. Everybody goes to their left. Jason White tries to pitch it to his right. Watch this. Oh, I'm in trouble. And he's lucky he didn't get hurt on this one because you're going to take a big pop, and the big guy, number 11, Johnson, just fell on top of him.
Now it's 2nd and 15. They put Trips out to the left. Ronaldo works as the running back. They throw the flanker screen, and they put it in Savage's hands. It's time, Gary, for our Morgan Stanley well-connected storyline.
Yeah, Wolfwick did a nice job, didn't he, on defense?
Absolutely.
Tackles, interceptions, blocked the field goal, and Chris Sims, he's as advertised. I mean, he just throws the ball on the money every time. He's got brilliant tools, and he distributes it to a lot of different players.
3rd and 13 for the Sooners. Redding can't get there. High, incomplete. Oklahoma forced a punt. You talk about coverage on the field. Derek Johnson, number 11, was also back there on pass coverage, working on the sideline along with Babers. What a drop number 11 has from his linebacking spot.
There's Babers right there, man-to-man to the outside against the freshman Clayton. Now, the reason he could play so close is he had a safety behind him, covering up the deep ball so he can gamble on everything short.
So White finally throws it incomplete, and Ferguson drills one. Basher at the 20. Can't slip the second man, and it's one of the big fellas who comes in. Roy Williams, number 38, their All-American safety, makes the stop. Timeout. We are back, and the Longhorns again with poor starting field position inside their own 20-yard line against this OU defense. He worked hard on Williams. He breaks the first tackle. He made the most out of it for about 3 yards. And now it's time for the Dodge Drive summary. Gary, this is exactly what Oklahoma did to Florida State in last year's BCS championship.
One time out of the 5 drives in the first half, and look where they're starting in the second half, that they start in any territory. Those 75-yard drives against this Oklahoma defense are tough to come by.
159 yards for Texas, 95 for Oklahoma total. But Oklahoma had enough in its scoring drive to lead it 7-3. Play fake Sims, throws over Wilkerson, complete escape short of the first down. Kalmus coming over defensively.
Kalmus and Everidge, those guys just are so fast to the ball. Everidge sometimes will make mistakes. Texas has not been able to get behind the safeties in this game, which everyone on Texas talked about. They had to take advantage of the aggressiveness for Oklahoma safeties.
Victor Ike has been their best running back. I'm a little surprised they empty it out on 3rd and 2. They elect to put Sims naked in the backfield. They're going to throw for it. The Sooners will try to get there. Quick drop, got it wide open. Johnson to the 41-yard line, and there was a lot of daylight between the defender that time and Johnson.
Can't believe that was the way this defense was designed. They blitz right over the slot right here and don't leave anybody on the receiver. Look at this, 3rd and 2. Come on, Oklahoma, you can't give a quarterback like that. That's high schoolish. Anybody could throw that one.
Gave him 14 more yards. Sims has thrown for 155. He's 16 of 24. No touchdowns, 1 interception.
To be a busted defense.
Protection, middle, incomplete, misfired as he tried to hook up with B.J. Johnson again. Let's check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, believe it or not, Chris Sims likes to keep lists. One of the lists that he keeps are people that have become his detractors or things that he has failed at. Now, it seems that Mike Stoops early this year had questioned how Chris Sims could be on the Heisman Trophy list in the preseason, so he put Stoops on the list. Then Mike Stoops said he's a 10 times better player than last year. Sims said, wow, that's great, but he isn't coming off my list.
Second down and 10 with the running back behind him. He'll try Williams again, and he bangs it out to the 44-yard line. So Sims facing a passing situation again. Ivan Williams is going to come out.
You know, Brent, you mentioned Tommy Harris as being, you know, the guy that they must handle. But this Oklahoma front four, all of them doing a great job. Corey Klein, Dvorak, Wilkerson, Heineke, they all do a good job. They do not get knocked down.
Nobody is with Sloan Thomas. Here they come now. They've got him picked up far left. And a timeout. Oklahoma was fouled up on defense, and Mike Stoops is going to be livid. They had number 9, Sloan Thomas, uncovered. And finally, Perkins went dashing over to the other side, and OU is forced to use a very valuable timeout. Unhappy co-defensive coordinators. Timeout. I want to be Mike Stoops' agent. He should be the next big-time head coach in college football. Man's got fire in his belly and knowledge, knows talent. Now his defense faces a 3rd and 7. Let's see what Sims can come up with. Chucks it off. He's got one-on-one to his right. Sims checking, got great time. Oh, almost intercepted. He threw a bad ball that time, and Antonio Perkins couldn't get the handle.
Another zone. Corners in the short flat. Safeties deep. Chris misreads this. He thinks it's man-to-man coverage. Look at that. Bait him. He baits him. He baits him, and Perkins cuts inside. If he could catch the ball, that would have been 7 points. Sims goes from one side to the other side, comes late to where he thinks he's got a drop-off. Very, very fortunate to get away with that one.
Bradford standing on the horn 30. Here's Fagan. Great tackle at the 20-yard line. Michael Unger makes a great tackle. There is number 29. Here is Chris Sims' release, Gary. You wanted to take a close look at it.
Yeah, you want to get this thing out of your hand, in and out of your hand. There's the release cock. Look, there's the 5-step drop. He gets it under 2 seconds, excuse me. There's the deep crossing route under 3. And this one looks around, and still right in the 3-second package. When they don't blitz, Chris Sims, that offensive line is giving him time to throw the ball.
OU spreads the field. 3 receivers to the right, and White will run it, and Johnson unloads on him. The freshman, number 11, said, let me take him on. And that's why, folks, they're talking about him in the same breath with one, dare I say, Tommy Novus.
There he is right there, number 11, the other number 11. He's trying to shadow Quentin Griffin. On the way to shadow one guy, he drills the quarterback.
Second down and 9. Look at that front. Now the horns back out. Dede trying to get there. Down the sideline, out of bounds, incomplete. That was Brooks on the ball, but he was out of bounds.
See, there's that deep safety that Babers had behind him.
The State Fair of Texas in the background. And we've had a lot of big plays, but none bigger than that blocked field goal by Andre Wolfolk. And then on the option, look, Quentin Griffin for the touchdown. The only touchdown of the game. 9:40 left in the 3rd. Shotgun look, Jason White. He replaced the injured Nate Hibble. Time, couldn't find a receiver. Now he's scrambling. Off to the right, he can throw it incomplete. It goes down at the 18-yard line, and OU is forced to punt. And folks, don't be surprised if Texas doesn't come after one of these punts.
You Well, that time the Texas secondary did such a great job. Even though White was scrambling from side to side, they never came off their coverage. They never broke down in their discipline, and that's what made Jason White have to eat that call.
Thornton shaken up on the play. Helped off. The Gunners are all alone on the outside. 8 on the line for Texas. OU accounting for them. Great protection. They set the return. And it's a beautiful punt by Ferguson. He drives the Horns back to the 30-yard line. What a weapon Jeff Ferguson is. A 52-yard punt. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Original Coors, nothing beats an original. Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected. And FedEx. Shipping at FedEx.com. It's fast, easy, and it just got cheaper. Now there's a big Texan, folks. So here's Thornton being tended to on the sideline. Sims will come back to work again against this sensational Oklahoma defense. Play fake, sprint hard left, fire complete, and the go-to guy is becoming B.J. Johnson rather than Roy Williams. Williams has been quiet for a long time for Sims, a very long time.
4 catches in the first quarter for Roy Williams is all he had, and Chris Sims, look at him in the first half. Look how he used the full field, all over, every box. Everything is covered right there. That's a good distribution of play calling and a quarterback that attacks the whole field. That's a pass off.
And Woolfolk has gone one-on-one with Williams outside to the right. Nothing doing. OU swallows the rushing game. John, how about Michigan? They're running it up on Penn State, my friend.
You've got that one right. The Coors Light update. It was close for a time, but they scored late at halftime. And then Michigan comes back early in the third quarter. John Navarre, 53 yards to Ronald Bellamy, who could not have been more wide open with 2 guys covering him. 20-0 is the lead.
Hey, John, before the day's over, tell me how Indiana got 63 on my buddy Alvarez in Wisconsin today. That was a stunning number. Third down. Here's Sims, empty, complete. And Sloan Thomas out of bounds at the 41-yard line, very close to the mark for the first down on this side. We'll see what they've got here on this third down. Officials timeout. They'll bring the chains across the field on this one. It's going to be a very, very big measurement right here. This is not a place where you want to be gambling on a fourth down and short. 7:13 in the third. We've had only 1 touchdown.
Ball just short of the first down marker.
So inches. And they're not going to gamble.
No, that would
you just cannot do that. And Mack Brown knows it in a game like this. It would just kill you to turn it over there. And the running game has not been automatic.
Well,
now, they have practiced fake punts, but I got to tell you, oh, baby.
No,
I watched them practice it, but I don't think so either. There's not a place to be doing that.
Number 12, Curtis.
There's the up back. He's the man that would take the direct snap if they want to go for it. Kalmus is looking in from the opposite side at him. You bet. Bradford hangs one out of there beautifully, and Fagan is hit at the 13 and down right there. So it is Bradford doing an excellent job of punting for Texas. 7-3. OU leads it. Timeout. So Oklahoma with Jason White backed up inside their 15-yard line. 7:04 left in the third. Now White throws high, complete to Newman to the 20-yard line. Tyrone Jones making the stop.
Well, we talked about what these two teams like to do, and you can see as it unfolded, Texas right here has not been able to establish any running attack. It's forced them to throw more of the passes, which is okay. But look at this, 10 finesse plays. That is not the way they wanted to do it. Oklahoma doing right about what they want to in this football game, except scoring points.
2nd down and 4 for the Sooners. Jason again rolling hard to the right, on the run. What a collision at the 28-yard line. A penalty flag is down. The tight end Smith was working over there. Nathan Basher popped him. The referee is John Laurie.
But we did have holding on the defense.
That's a tough one. That's an automatic first.
You can see as how Oklahoma has changed their game plan to try to adjust to this Texas offense. There's the hold on the tight end right there, right in front of the official.
Holding defense, previous spot.
Call is made. Everett Rawls, the outside linebacker, was the one who had the tight end that time, Trent Smith. More of a rollout, play-action pass, bootleg package in there with White, trying to free up from those blitzing linebackers, those stunning guys inside that Texas having a tough time getting the ball away from.
Griffin's out of the game right now. So Ronaldo Works, the sophomore from Tulsa. He's a running back for the Sooners. On the release, he paid a price. Fagan did. And so too did the quarterback as Tyrone Jones drove in on top of him that time, and Corey Redding there also on the hit.
Well, that guy's not picked up at all in the design of that play. The quarterback has to release it. The linemen are trying to get out in front of that screen, that wide receiver screen, and the quarterback, you said it right, has to get rid of it quickly and still take punishment.
2nd down and 9. This game, folks, is for men only. This has been a heavy hitter today. Griffin, nothing doing. Lost yardage on it. Redding again, and let's send you to John Saunders for an update on the Irish. They finally get a breakthrough.
Brent trying to avoid going 0-4 for the first time in school history. Carlisle Holiday at quarterback. Busts it up, breaks a couple of tackles, and then into the open field for the touchdown. 67 yards. The Irish led 17-7, and they knock off Pitt this afternoon to go to 1-3, 24-7, the final. Brent.
All right, John, and here it is 7-3. Oklahoma ahead of Texas. 3rd down and 10. Hit by Johnson, diving catch, first down, Smith.
I don't think so.
No, they wave it off.
Yep.
The official said it was on the ground.
That was a nice play by Smith. He laid out. White, because of the blitz inside, had to get out of the pocket, threw it, kind of a jump pass, and the ball skipped. I thought it did, but that was a nice try.
That was a good try. That rascal tried. He made it look good on the short arm.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Who's going to make the big mistake? That's what it looks like this game is going to come down to. One big mistake, because both defenses are dominating.
All right, Jeff Ferguson. 8 men in burnt orange trying to get there. Gets off another beauty. Drives Basher to the 23. Slips one, but not the next two, and Rocky Kalmus makes the stop for the special teams. You talk about a player who's the leading candidate for the Butkus. There he is right there. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, Gary Gibson, the Oklahoma Sooners, had lost 4 in a row against Texas in 1993. Cale Gundy, despite a problem with his hip, rushed for 3 touchdowns, passed for 111 yards with just 1 INT, and Oklahoma upset Texas 38-17.
And there's Gundy on that OU sideline. The Helping out with the coaching staff. Victor Ike is now in at running back. Victor Ike is the running back for the Horns. Play fed to him. Sims waits deep middle. Sims goes for Williams. Jump ball. Woolfolk is there and knocked it away. What a move by the OU coaching staff to move number 17 to corner. And he's been assigned to Roy Williams, and he's done a knockout job here today.
This ball was thrown very late, very high. Woolfolk just watched this ball. It was hanging up forever. You see Jones has to stop, and Woolfolk, and that's where that receiving experience comes through. Sims, who gets rocked as he let it go, the ball hung, and that one, Woolfolk will gobble up. They got to get the ball to Roy Williams. They must find a way to do it.
How good is it to have the size of Woolfolk on the jumping ability of Williams? He's on him again. Sims looks in that direction, throws high and incomplete, and they have locked down on Williams. He stopped on his pattern that time, and Woolfolk right now, ladies and gentlemen, has got him in his hip pocket.
Zone coverage, man coverage. Man coverage, zone coverage. Mike Stoops is giving it all to him. Chris Sims, only been fooled a couple times. Cost him an interception. One time it was a dropped interception, but you can see he's never letting the quarterback get comfortable.
This is one drive that the Longhorn coaches would like to have back. 3rd down and 10. They wish they'd put it on the ground here for at least one running play. They've got to slot out to Sims left. Linebackers show they're coming Williams, but it's stopped. Williams and Lehman, it was a safety blitz that time. We've got an OU player shaken up. He's down at the 20-yard line. Now he's up. He's okay. It was Williams. He was coming hard on a safety blitz.
Had to be just a legal procedure on that. But yes, it was legal procedure because it looked like everybody moved, but maybe the center on that time.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Williams was coming hard. He was coming from the right side of the defense.
And they were doing it with that zone blitz, Brent. Just bring a safety, bring a linebacker, and play zone behind it, which is very difficult to pick up these 3rd and longs. 3rd and 15.
This is helping field position for OU. They have backed the Horns up to the 16-yard line. This is not what the coaches wanted. They don't want to be thrown in this situation. Got to hurry up. Kalmus can't get there. They throw underneath as Kalmus vacates the spot, but it's well short of the 1st down. That was Robin coming out as Kalmus slipped trying to blitz, but Texas forced the punt, but they do pick up a few for field position.
See, here's the blitz inside, but watch these guys back here. And that's what the Texas coaches are seeing. See, yeah, all right, I'll blitz you. I've only got 2 or 3 guys underneath instead of the regular allotment of 4 or 5. But on 3rd and long, we'll give you that little dump off because we got great speed to come up and make the play. Who will make the first mistake?
Now it's OU's turn to tee off. They jumped in the middle. There's the penalty flag. OU appeared to be offside. This is Fagan. Hit at the 39-yard line. OU was offside. That will not give Texas a 1st down. This was a 4th down and 8 situation. This will not give the Horns a 1st down.
Offside defense.
Well, folks, it's time for our Pacific Life game summary. And as you watch Bob Stoops, many of you are thinking, because you've asked, will he go to the NFL? Because of the great job that he has done at Oklahoma, will he move on? Well, he told us last week at Norman, I don't feel it's my venue. There are too many things outside of a coach's control. So Jerry Jones, don't bother to call. He's happy up there. Oh, I don't want to put the heat on the boys down here. 7-3, OU with the lead now. And that was great coverage on that punt. So they'll just let them take the ball right there and put it in play with 3:22.
With the game breakers that Oklahoma has, if you make a mistake, guy gets a big return, block a punt, you might as well just give Oklahoma the ball. Your defense has been dialing well. A turnover. Texas needs a turnover in field position. Let's see if they can dial one up.
Now Griffin's back in at running back. This has been high pressure, intense from the first snap. There's the blitz. Inside, shovel pass. Griffin to the 40-yard line. A perfect call as Rolls came from his linebacking spot and into that vacated spot. Came And the pitch from Jason White, 18 yards.
Where was Derek Johnson? Number 11, he's been shadowing Griffin the whole game. That time, he takes his eye off him for just an instant. And Mangino and Long have the right call on and perfectly executed for actually the second time in the game that Griffin's got off. It's a fourth down play in this play.
During the 17-game winning streak, this coaching staff of Oklahoma has been lethal. They've got to smell it in this drive. You're not going to get many chances as Texas pours in. And there's number 11 back in on the stop that time. Young Derek Johnson out of Waco, Texas. Same high school as Vince Carter, the OU freshman center, plays. And so here's a reminder. And folks, here's something you might enjoy Monday night. Marshall Faulk going to be mic'd up. So Faulk and the amazing Rams offense when they face the Lions. I don't think anybody could beat the Rams when they play like they did last week. I mean, weren't they awesome against Miami? That was unbelievable. Second down and 14. White's got great time. What a great job on the offensive line. Short of the first down, Mark Clayton, the young man from Arlington, Texas. There's 40 players on that Oklahoma roster from the state of Texas, and they're scattered all around the Big 12. The big one, of course, Colorado over Kansas State. And Baylor battles Texas A&M and only loses by 6, a lot closer than a whole lot of folks expected. And we got night action. You can't beat the Big 12 this year, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best conference in the land. These are two of the finest teams. And we'll come back to Dallas for the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship. Out Jason over the middle, fires complete for a first down. Antoine Savage.
Texas makes a mistake, one of the few mistakes. Quentin Griffin goes wide on a little escape. Right here, Griffin goes and watch 2 Texas guys go with him to vacate that spot. Griffin goes wide, 2 guys go with him. That's a mistake. Watch, this guy and this guy go with 1 guy. That opens the spot right there. Bang. Good read by the quarterback. A mistake on Texas and a first down.
That last defensive series by OU started it all. They got decent field position. They've had better field position in this game. Running to the right. They're going to keep it this time. Spins away. And he's out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Redding tried to close in on him, and Jason White doing a brilliant job.
That was a run all the way. It was going to be a quarterback draw, but because of the blitz, he just had to get out of there. The receivers downfield were all blocking. There's no one to throw to. White just has to keep the ball and make something out of nothing. Nice move right there.
That rushing number doesn't do him justice, folks. In college football, for some strange reason, they take sack yardage off the rushing total. He's been a much better runner than that here today. Second down and 3. Griffin tripped up and down at the 20, short of the first down. Jones. Next week, a doubleheader. The big one. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy will be in Tallahassee. What's wrong with the Seminoles? And then next Saturday, we'll go see Barry Alvarez, Gary Danielson. We'll have to talk to Barry. And then some of you will watch that one. 63 to Indiana.
I think I'll go visit Ohio State.
No, that's where I was going. 3rd down and 1. Straight ahead. First down.
That's going to take it right to the end of the 3rd quarter, too. Those play calls for Texas last time when they did not run the ball 1 time, really caught them behind the down and distance, and Oklahoma will go to the 4th quarter. Player of the game right there.
Absolutely.
He came through. He's come through big time.
Jason White will replace Nate Hibble. Mark Mangino, one of their outstanding offensive coordinators, working with Chuck Long. The Sooners, they lead it, and they're threatening. Our score is 7-3. We'll be back with the 4th quarter of the SBC Red River Shootout after this message and a word from our ABC stations. One thing is certain. Whoever loses this game is still a real good football team.
Brent, these 2 teams have, and I hesitate to say this, I mean, they are good football teams. They're making mistakes, but no big mistake in this game. And you know what's coming through for me is Oklahoma is battle tested. They're used to these big games. They're not going to crack. Texas is going to have to rip it from them.
Can they stop the Sooners who are in the red zone? Griffin tiptoes about a yard. Remember, number 22 scored 6 times a year ago in that rout against the Horns. Today, he has scored the game's only touchdown, but it has OU ahead, 7-3. Mangum with the Horns on the board. With that field goal, he did have one blocked from 35 yards. Now it is 2nd down and 9. Jason White, the sophomore backup quarterback from Tuttle, Oklahoma, replaced the injured Nate Hibble in the first half. He led them on their only scoring drive, ran the option himself. Straight back, waits, and out on Smith, the tight end, working on that side, and Quentin Jammer, the corner, couldn't peel it away.
How about that? Tight end against one of the best corners in college football right there. What happens is Smith gives him a pressure release, goes upfield, and then just pushes off with his left arm. A perfect throw. Jammer's right there. But White put it high enough for the big tight end to get it. I love that matchup of tight end, not against Jammer, but against the strong safety. They got it again. All 11 men for Texas are near the line of scrimmage.
Here's your 3rd down.
Everybody's up there.
They got to stop him on the pitch. Griffin for the corner. Got it. Out of bounds. There's a 1st and goal for OU. Once he caught the corner, enough for the 1st down. And that could be the killer right there because OU would have settled for the field goal.
The option play and the movement of Jason White has changed the game. Here it is. He had to pitch quickly this time. Now you get Griffin out in space. You're not going to catch him. You can't pull him down with one arm. Right there. See? Get to the corner, and now Oklahoma 1st and goal from the 3. Texas must only give up a field goal here. They need a stop.
Chris Toney is the blocking fullback. They show power to the left. Now they move it over to the right. Neil toss Griffin. Griffin tries to get a block from Toney. Can't. And the Longhorn defense with Jones pressuring Tyrone Jones, the senior from Texas City. He's been a good defensive player for the Horns here today.
And as he filled out, we went and watched practice. He's like 245 now. He came in 210.
All right, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. This is a Red River shootout. For the first time since '84. These 2 great schools are ranked in the top 5. OU, the defending national champions, with the 12th play on this drive.
Got that matchup at tight end again. Small corner on a big tight end.
White adjusts his running back. Lob for the end zone, incomplete. Mark Clayton couldn't quite find it in time. He was searching for it.
Jason White called an audible that time. He brought in Trent Smith, the tight end, as an extra protector. He called the audible, the fade to the inside receiver, kind of a wheel route. The ball was just a bit high, a little long, and Clayton could not find it.
Here's your 3rd down.
Big stop for Texas defense. Keep it a 7-point game with a field goal.
And Gino may want a timeout. He does. He takes it. Mangino wanted the timeout. Can't make a mistake down here. Mangino knows this is a killer. Don't make a mistake. Timeout. So too many of those Bevo barbecues up in Norman. Stop them. So here we are. 3rd and 8. White goes again to the corner. Incomplete. And OU will send Duncan onto the field.
Texas alignment that time almost forced Oklahoma. Look at this. 10 guys on defense for Texas are on one side of the field. Here's a one-on-one on the other side of the field. Oklahoma, no choice. We got to throw the fade. You're forcing us to throw the fade. We do it. Neighbors is ready for it. The ball's a little outside. Clayton can't catch up.
A 24-yarder. He missed from 42. Remember, he hit the late one. That was the one he made last week against K-State. Got this one in the air. No good. He's missed again. And Texas very much alive. Said stopping them on this play was this hit right here as D.D. Lewis, remember at the very top of our broadcast, D.D. Lewis shook his head and said, not today, not today. And that tackle could have kept Texas in the game. And now it is up to young Chris Sims. The Horns go empty. Roy Williams gonna come and went after the loose ball. They put it down, so it'll be second down. So a little antsy back there. No time for that.
Brent, one of the things I did notice about Oklahoma, every one of their defenders went over and touched Duncan. Said, it's all right, hang in there. You'll get the next one. Oklahoma is battle-tested. They're used to playing in these games.
Well, Texas still indicating there's a manpower problem with OU again. Another late substitution, and they're going to have to call a timeout.
And it was their last one.
Dvoracek didn't get on the field in time, and they were short in the defensive line.
Oklahoma uses their last timeout in this half, in the game, unless they go overtime.
So the substitution packages, that has hurt OU defensively. They've used 2 of their 3 adjusting to defense. Remember, in the defensive backfield, they had a man uncovered, and they called the timeout. Now they didn't have 11 men on the field, and that could kill you in a tight game.
And I'm not so sure, Brent, it was Dvoracek that shouldn't have been in there. 5 wide receivers for Texas. He just ran out there because they only had 10 guys.
Well, at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Now, I want to go back to the big story on number 4 of Texas, Roy Williams. He had 4 catches today for 54 yards, and folks, all 4 were in the first quarter of this football game. He hasn't caught a ball since about the 5-minute mark of the first quarter because Andre Woolfolk has done such a great job. Now they try to align their formation to get him some daylight. Second down and long. Sims hit on the release, and that time Jimmy Wilkerson, and there's a penalty flag.
Yeah, that was roughing the passer right there. I think it was Anderson, number 89. Quick pass here. Watch Sims throw it. Wilkerson from one side, Anderson from the other side. He tries. Actually, Wilkerson kind of knocked him into him here, and Anderson, I couldn't help but do it.
You know what you want to do as your alignment? Drop your hands down to your side and hold them back. They just try to, hit him with the belly, and then maybe because Heineke was in on him, and the official had no choice with the hands up. It was that late when he hit him. But I agree with you, Gary. I think that Wilkerson pushed him back to him. Now it's first down. Sims will try to keep it going. Williams has straight this time. Roy Williams is off to Sims' right. They throw that flanker screen, and it's Johnson slips and out of bounds.
It's such a tough play down the sideline. You really don't have your eyes on the sideline. The guy's still running, Johnson's running, and you hit him and catch him at the same time because you know you don't want to pick up another 15-yarder.
First and 10 is brought to you this corner by Chevy Trucks. Still plenty of time. There is no reason for the Longhorn coaches to panic. They got 12 minutes here. That's time for running games and anything you want to do. And Victor Ike is on the field. They're going to keep it in the air. Here's Ike. Nothing doing. Is drilled by Woolfolk again, who's had a monster game. And now it is third and long, and Ike not getting up.
And we have an official's timeout on the field.
The Stoops defense was forced to put their safeties last week because of option football against Kansas State at the line of scrimmage. This game, Everidge and Williams have been playing deep in the secondary on passing situations, and Woolfolk's been that wild card, lining up everywhere, playing zone and man.
I didn't learn much from Dick Vermeil because he was so much smarter than I am. But I'll tell you one thing the old coach used to say all the time: never, ever abandon your running game. In a situation like this, you've got to keep them honest with a running game. And Texas
has run for 41 yards. They've had 18 yards in sacks, 23 yards total rushing, 41 yards from 18, 23 yards for Texas. That's not going to do it. Remember, Mack Brown has never lost a game when he's rushed for more than his opponent.
And remember what the coaches at Texas told us in Austin. If Oklahoma makes you one-dimensional, they'll kill you with this defense. Well, they've made Texas basically one-dimensional here today.
And that's where I say that Oklahoma front four is underrated. You know, we talked about Harris as being the special player, but all those guys up there refuse to be blocked. Jimmy Wilkerson, Heineke, Dvorak, and Corey Klein. They have really stood up strong, and that Texas offensive line that's so big, so strong, has not been able to push them back. A story in the game that you really don't obviously see.
They had a 17-game winning streak for the Sooners. They win their 7th national championship, and you've seen today why. And Mack Brown trying to get over the hump, win a big one against Bob Stoops, who just doesn't lose big games. And he's ahead right now, 7-3, and the officials are trying to get things sorted out here at the 12-13 mark. Remember now, this is going to be a 3rd and 7. So you can expect Sims to put it up for the 34th time here today.
Here's Roy Williams right here. Here's Woolfolk right there. But he has help. No, he doesn't this time. In the middle.
Now Sims is back underneath. He's got Williams. And they hang on for a first down at the 45 straight. So a first down for Texas as Roy Williams catches his first pass since the opening quarter. Sims and the Horns bring it out to the 45. Oklahoma with the game's only touchdown scored by Quentin Griffin. It is 7-3 OU. Draw play. Nothing doing. Tommy Harris, the freshman tackle, all over Brett Roberts.
Tommy Harris just abused Robbie Doan that time, number 71. Spun off. Remember, a true freshman playing defensive line in a big-time game like this. So impressive.
2nd down and 12.
And he's from where, Brent? Tommy Harris?
Tommy Harris is from Texas.
Never ask a question unless you know the answer.
2nd down. They pick up Williams on the safety blitz. And Sims dives toward the first down marker. We'll see where they spot that ball. As Roy Williams came on a safety blitz, and he may have injured his leg. He's getting up a little gimpy. Number 38 is shaken up. Will he stay in the game? He's looking toward the sideline.
Brett Robin, number 25. Is that him? Yes, it is. A backup. That's the guy who picked it up. And Sims, remember we talked in the open? Does Phil Sims have it? Chris Sims, excuse me. Does Chris Sims have it? Well, right there, he's showing it like Phil. I was going to tie that in somewhere.
All right, 3rd down is short now. This is a big one for Texas. Here comes Williams. He's stopped. Stoned in the hole by Oklahoma, but where will they spot it? The spot is critical. Brandon Moore, number 46, stoned him, and I think they gave the spot to Texas. The OU coaches are livid. He may have had it.
I thought he got to the line.
He may have had it.
Yes, I really do think he got right to the line. Where did he spot the ball? Right on the line. And that's right where our yellow line is. So everything happened right there.
Come on, yellow line, don't fail me now.
You know, everything. Everybody met right there.
Oh, I'm telling you. It's been that kind of a day, folks, if you just joined us.
It's like a traffic signal on a busy street. You never want to run a yellow light. No, Bob said no. That's bad.
You know, something else? I can't remember a game in which fans stay glued to their seats the way they have this one. Folks, every snap has been full of passion. Fury. I mean, it's just been a whale of a football game.
That block by Brett Robin, fourth-string running back on Roy Williams, and Chris Sims taking that down. Play of the game for Texas so far.
They're now at the Sooners 45. Here's Chris. Got a man. Bo Scaife. For about 8 yards on that first down with Andre Woolfolk making the stop.
Chris Sims so cool now. He's taken all the abuse. Fans wanted Major Applewhite, holder of all those Texas records. Chris Sims with all the headlines, covers of all the magazines. He wanted into a game like this. Well, he's into a game like this, and he's got the football in his hand.
Now, Ivan Williams right behind Sims, and now they come back with a running play and a stop at the 34-yard line by Tommy Harris, number 97.
Gee,
was he one of the best-looking freshmen you've ever seen?
Yes, one of the best-looking football players I've ever seen. He had his helmet knocked off. That's why they didn't call it a penalty. And grabbed the foot. Just one hand grabbed the foot of the running back. Watch him right there. He gets blocked pretty well here. Loses the helmet. And watch him reach up. 1 foot with his right hand. That was an unbelievable tackle.
Sims short drop. Williams, he underthrew him straight to the defensive back, and it's time for our Pacific Life game summary. Remember now, the Sooners would have a bigger lead, but they have missed 2 field goals in this game. Duncan in a slump, and he's missed 2. And so the score stands at 7-3.
What a goal line stand for Texas, huh? First and goal inside, what, 2.5, 2-yard line? No points for Oklahoma.
Second down and 10. Here's a short drop. Batted down and incomplete. Jimmy Wilkerson from Omaha, Texas, makes the play.
And such a tough play for a quarterback because both receivers are running out routes at 5 yards, and the defensive line reads that block. They read that offensive guy going for his ankles. There's Wilkerson. He's going to be right there. But watch the receivers. They just go out like that. There's no one else to throw to. The tight end comes out. The slot goes out. And Wilkerson times it and says, I know you're going to throw the quick one. I'm just going to try to jump it out the net.
Texas with 2 plays to get 10 yards. Field goal doesn't do them any good. They need 10 for a first down. Here's your third down. Sims. Deep end zone, intercepted! Oklahoma intercepts in the end zone. Antonio Perkins, the redshirt freshman from Lawton, Oklahoma.
Antonio Perkins, the nickelback. He and Woolfolk have come in. They're going to see it. Texas is going to run seams. Slot guy, all 4 seams. Chris tries to look off. He says, I got it one-on-one. Let's put it up and see what happens. Throws a duck. Threw a duck. He misfired on the throw, and that allowed Perkins to get there. Look at how fast. Perkins came from behind, and that ball was poorly thrown, and that allowed Perkins to make the play.
There was heat on Chris from behind.
I didn't see that. Did he get hit?
Throw.
Did he get hit? Oh,
there was intense heat coming.
Right. I had my eyes downfield. I saw the ball just flutter, and that's what allowed it.
Now first down. And Quentin Griffin will try to take it over for a couple of yards, and Johnson hits him right now, along with Rawls. Plenty of time left in this game.
And here's the tough thing for Oklahoma right here. As we go back to the last play.
Second down and 8 is our situation. Near the 7-3 game.
Let me go with my original thought here, Greg. This is where Oklahoma has problems, controlling the clock. They only have really one style of game, and that's to throw the ball. Let's see if the quarterback, White, can give them some extra runs with his legs.
throws to Griffin underneath. He slips the first tackle, but not Rawls. Rawls comes in hard to clean it up.
Texas defense is impressive. We talked about Oklahoma being so fast and moving to the ball. Texas has a defense now just like that. I mean, you put the ball out in the flat, and 11 guys are buzzing towards it.
I'm going to tell you, folks, it may come down to Jeff Ferguson again, and he'll boom one. He's a monster punter for OU. They'd love to get a first down out of Jason White in the offense right here, but what do they dare do?
Texas is going to come at him. Texas is coming at him.
How high a risk will they take? White's going to sprint for it. He's got a shot at it. White steps out of bounds at the marker. First down, Oklahoma.
Since White's legs, that is the difference in this game. As he responded, I don't know if I've seen a backup quarterback respond to an injury in a bigger game and do what Jason White has. He's 14 for 19. He's ran the option on 4th and 1 to pick it up. He ran the quarterback draw, and there, with the blitz coming, he dodged Johnson, maybe the best defensive player on the field, and picks up a first down.
You got the little Derek Johnson. He ain't so little either. Big Derek Johnson on the inside and stepped around into the outside. And here's your first down for the Sooners. Clock inside of 7 now. Inside shuttle to Griffin. And Rawls can't bring him down. And Griffin breaks the tackle and makes it to the 35-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Burger King, home of the Whopper. SBC were on it. And original Coors. Nothing beats an original. State Fair, Texas. A lot of folks are going to spill out to that midway. Spill some dollars, millions it means to the Dallas economy. This game here. White is back, facing pressure. He'll take it off again for another first down. Slides to midfield. He's at the 50-yard line. And Jason White, the runner, is beating Texas. That's a 15-yard run.
Well, D.D. Lewis got Jason White just as he slid there. This was not a quarterback draw. But as Quentin Griffin went out, 3 Texas players, you can't see one just out of the screen, went with him. Another busted assignment from Texas. They've only made a couple. Watch as he slides. D.D. Lewis puts it out of it, and the Oklahoma bench just erupted. But remember, the rules are a little different in college football than professional football. That would be a penalty in professional ball.
Now time permits. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Carvana postgame report. We'll have scores and highlights from around the country. Oklahoma, 5:52 to go. At midfield, the toss. Griffin, the corner, cuts. Battles his way to the 46-yard line. D.D. Lewis bringing him down, and we check in with John Saunders.
Brent, you asked the question, how did Indiana put up that number of points against Wisconsin? One reason, they couldn't stop the run. LeBron Williams, 56 yards, one of his 6 touchdowns, 449 yards rushing for Indiana alone, 63-32, the most Wisconsin has given up since 1890.
Oh, my. The running. Who would have figured that? 5 minutes now.
Texas has all 3 timeouts, remember.
Here's second down. White tosses for another first down. How about this backup quarterback? Put it in the hands of Antoine Savage. And Jason White leading the Sooners right down the field.
Brent, I'm going to defer to you on this one. You've been at it longer than I have. Have you ever seen a quarterback come in as a backup in a bigger game and perform like this?
Never.
I haven't either. This time, under pressure. 5 minutes to go in the game. He hung in the pocket, was patient, found the right guy. Texas now is kind of chasing their tail a bit now, Brent. They just are running for guys. They're losing their poise. If I'm Carl Reese, I would blitz. I'd say grab a man, blitz, and let's go for it because the zone is breaking down.
Sooners inside the 35. Jason sprints away again. Jason twists toward that first down marker, and Corey Redding. Check in with Jaggeroot.
Well, Brent, one of the things that Jason White has going for him is a very talented group of receivers. Last year, Oklahoma threw for a total of 289 completed passes. Returning players on the sidelines and on that OU team, accounted for all but 13 of those receptions.
Second down and 1. Today it is Jason White, the runner, with the option look, right straight ahead.
I think now Texas will have to stop Oklahoma and use their timeouts. They're going to have to get a stop here and use their timeouts. Mack Brown thinking of the strategy. They can't give up any more time, and they have to start thinking of the clock to come back in this game.
White's last 4 runs, ladies and gentlemen, for 10 yards, 15 yards, 9 yards, and 2 yards for a first down. A magnificent effort.
They don't have any timeouts.
He didn't have any. He's got to get in there.
You might as well take a 5-yard penalty. It's not the worst thing in the world.
There it is.
It's a good thing this isn't basketball. That would have been a technical.
It's a good thing Chris Webber.
That's right. Us people from Michigan remember that one.
Who can ever forget it?
That's a bad feeling. You go and turn around and call timeout, and the ref says, sorry.
Yeah, right. And Quentin Griffin says, get in there, man.
But
We don't have any timeout.
In this situation, 5 yards is not the worst thing in the world. Time is a huge factor now.
First and 15, they want to kill 310. Down at the 28-yard line. Now it is second down coming up.
The ball has not been spotted yet. The 25-second clock has not started. Here it goes. Let's see. Oklahoma should snap this ball real close to the end of the clock.
Here's White. Hit on the release, deflected, and almost intercepted by Jammer off the deflection. He went diving for it that time.
Oklahoma has to do what Oklahoma does. They throw the ball. They drop back in the pocket. You see him, White right there, speed moving, throws the ball, gets pushed into right through the hand of the receiver. Who was that? The receiver that time. Mark Clayton, number 9. Right through his hand. That was an easy throw.
Third down and 2:21. Protection, can't find anybody. Now throws in zone, incomplete. And it is 4th down, and now what will Stoops do? His field goal kicker has misfired twice today. This would be a long one. Do you pooch punt it and play field position at the 2-minute mark? There's Duncan. Missed a 42 and a 24-yarder in 6 of his last 7.
And this would be, what, about 45, 44 yards? They're going to pooch it, aren't they? No, they're going to try to kick it.
Now the quarterback, Jason White, remembers the holder. If a direct snap, they could pooch it. Instead, they could go for the 45-yarder. There it is, the pooch punt. Off the lateral from White. Inside the 5-yard line. What did he do? What was Basher doing? It was headed for the end zone. Oh, my.
We said maybe someone will make a big mistake. Is that the big mistake? Still plenty of time left. 2:06. Texas has their timeouts left, all 3 of them.
Chris Sims, 97 yards away. Timeout. Chris Sims and the Longhorns with a first down in the 3 after a mental mistake by Basher. Ball would have gone into the end zone, and they could have had it on the 20. Cannot afford a mistake down here. They got 2:06 to work with. Longhorns with their timeouts left. Lehman showing blitz. There's the blitz. Touchdown, Lehman. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Williams got him on the blitz. Lehman on the pick. OU is going to win it again.
Lehman bluffs. Williams gets the play. Roy Williams just lays out right over the blocker. Remember the last time he was blocked? This time Lehman shows blitz and falls off for the freebie. What a play. What a play by Roy Williams.
What an effort by Williams. Duncan. The extra point. Take a look at number 38. Why he's the premier safety in the land. Over the top of the blitz protector. It flutters. And Lehman strolls in. OU rolling again. Do these guys ever lose a big game? Not today. No rest for number 38, Roy Williams, back out on the kickoff team as his great effort off the blitz over the top forces the third interception of the day by Chris Sims, and Lehman picks it off, and now he too will come down the field as the Sooners fire their best guns. Here's Basher, who made that mistake, trying to get back for it, and he is down at the 31-yard line.
Well, someone always makes a mistake. This time it was Brett Robin. Remember when he got Williams before with the low block? This time he goes up and cuts. You cannot cut a linebacker. When you cut a linebacker or a safety and he knows you're going to do it, remember he did it last time, that allows him to go over the top. Sims takes a short drop. I don't know if that was an interception or a fumble. He got that ball, I thought, before he threw it that time.
I want that on the cover of one of those magazines. What an effort by Roy Williams. First down. Here's Chris. Middle intercepted. Williams. There he is again. Oh, baby.
I remember a little earlier, Mike Stoops yelling at Roy Williams for lining up wrong. This time, he lined up right. He forces the turnover, and now he gets the turnover. The All-American in a big game. That was a gimme that time. Takes it, but he was in the perfect spot.
Oklahoma has again proved its value. And I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, why was Texas favored coming into this game? As you watch it unfold, all the big plays have been made on the other side. And here is Quentin Griffin and the coaching staff over there from Norman, Oklahoma. Remember when they had an extra week to prepare, and Stoops readily admitted it. They broke out all the Texas tapes, and they worked on the Texas plays for an entire week before they went back to thinking about Kansas State. And here they are, about to wrap up their 18th straight victory. And folks, they haven't been beating the Troy States of the world. They have been beating big-time opponents, K-State and Texas. You've got to put OU number one. They deserve to be number one. No one's knocked them off. This defense may be better than a year ago. Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. With Gary Danielson and Jack Arute, I'm Brent Musburger. It's been a dandy. But Oklahoma has answered the call all game long. They've made the big plays. They've made the right decisions. From the backup quarterback to a wonderful piece of football by number 38. And for those of you who just joined, just watch 38 from the left. Now watch number 11, Lehman, stroll in for a touchdown. It was that easy. And just moments ago, Williams, number 38 again, made the interception. And the Horns have turned it over 4 times here today against Oklahoma. And how big does that Oklahoma-Nebraska game loom down the road in Lincoln?
Well, Brandon, at halftime, I said that Oklahoma is battle-tested, and you can see as this game emerged, they feel good about it. They looked up at the clock and said, we've been here before, we've been in big games, we're used to it, but I'll tell you, every guy in this team is going to go up to that backup quarterback, Jason White, and say, thank you for studying that game plan all week. Thank you for being ready to play and not pouting about losing the job in the fall.
What a great point that is. There have been so many MVPs for Oklahoma, but Jason White has to step in the middle of the cauldron.
Right.
And he does the job replacing the injured Nate Hibble. He led the Sooners on their first touchdown scoring drive of the game. So we'll come back. We'll wrap it up. Oklahoma closing in on number 18 in a row. We are back now. Oklahoma, 1:23 to go. They'll be punting here, bringing the clock down. Here's young Basher. Guess who? Number 38. Listen, that's not one guy. That's got to be two. It cannot be one player we're watching there. Huh? You know, this is unbelievable.
Let's see. There must be a lot of Williams on this team, right? Roy Williams, the interception and pass coverage. He's blocking on punts. He's lining up on the blitz as a strong safety coming in there. And he's also on the kickoff coverage team. The All-American earned it today.
Oh, he moves up to the top of the charts for the Jim Thorpe. I'm telling you, this is some great defense. And they have not been beating up on cupcakes. How many times can we say that? Sims throws in underneath and out of bounds, stop the clock, and then we got to have an asterisk. Today's Chevrolet players of the game. We're going to go with Jason White of Oklahoma because he did such a courageous job, backup quarterback. And we'll go with D.D. Lewis. For a time, he saved the game with that tackle on Quentin Griffith, left it at 7-3 in a recognition of their effort. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each University General Scholarship Fund, but we should make a down payment on a Corvette for Roy Williams.
He'll have
just
money to
kidding, NCAA. Just kidding. None of that. Second down and 4. And Sims goes down. Jimmy Wilkerson's played a good game.
Yeah, he went down with a 3-man rush that time.
Final minute now. Oh, Sims and the Horns right up there at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think Texas believed they could get shut out with their high-powered offense, but Oklahoma shuts them out. No touchdowns, just a field goal.
Well, the executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. The coordinator producer, Bob Goodrich. He's also producing today's game. The director down there, Larry Cam, TD, Monty Poling. Associate producer, Mitch Green. Associate director, Brian Fahey. Director of production, Bob Towns. Our production assistants, TD and Big Kurt. Stats man, Big D himself, had a home game, Anthony Holman. And, of course, the team of Hill and Mobilson keeping us like a law firm.
It is.
Here's 4th down, and, of course, trailing 14-3. So Sims goes from blue to white, and he's going down at the 12-yard line with Corey Klein wrapping him up. And Oklahoma wins for the 18th straight time, and great dejection for young Sims. They had such high hopes coming into this game, but this defense and the co-defensive coordinators with a big hug, and Stoops, he'll hug the first man. They gave him a big bath over there, and anybody can get his hands on, he'll hug. Look at this. Doesn't make any difference. Stoops is going to hug you.
Well,
way to go.
And I think you might be right. I mean, you hug anybody in a white jersey over there today because it was a team effort. When you win with a backup quarterback,
now that takes big arms. When you hug Mangino, folks, that's a hug, okay? So they'll take a knee here, and you can't say enough about Oklahoma. They set sail for back-to-back national championships. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a great effort to beat this team. These guys are for real all over again. Mack Brown's Texas team Well, they'll come back and play again. They'll wind up with a good year. This is a good football team. Like I said, the loser in this game is a good team.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
So it's 14-3. Stoops and OU. We'll wrap it up when we come back.